Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Good evening, brothers and sisters, live from Saigon. It's Friday night, live from the garden too. I'm Rodney Josephson. Tonight's episode, 1,260 days nears completion. The ticket. I'll start off by saying, I am peace, I come in peace, and I leave in peace. So before we get into this topic, uh, yeah, so, the last month and a half or so, I've had, indications to just think about time or basically, so-called time. Time doesn't exist in let's say the spiritual concept. It doesn't exist. But in man's world, of course, things are running on time. That's Caesar's. This is Caesar's world, so things are uh, controlled by time. You're restricted by time, limits, and things like that. Now, the last few shootings or last few videos, I've talked about uh, April Fools or the date. What does that actually mean? Well, it depends on what someone means by time, the seasons. Where you live on this planet. So if you're in the middle part, or where the sun is usually not uh, going away, or it's always there. Generally speaking, um, you have the nights, and then you have the days, and it's like that throughout the whole year. So the uh, tropical equator is the area. So, but if you're in the north, of course, you're going to get dark winters, and you're going to get lit summers. So it's always lit or it's always dark. So it all depends on how you want to judge what so-called time is. So you have the sun cycles, and then you have the moon cycles. The moon gets full, and the moon is not full. But the sun comes up and it goes down every day, every day, every day, every day. So there's one cycle. The moon, that's full or it's not full. So is it 28 days? Is it a 30-day calendar? Again, how you want to judge it. Is it Caesar's calendar? Definitely it's not Caesar's calendar, because Caesar's calendar is all over the place. It's not doesn't feel right. So April, this calendar's April is way off. So you got to go back. It's just the feeling. It's the energy. That's how you judge it. So, yeah, that's my take on that. Again, to be precise in man's world on dates and times is ridiculous. It's very difficult to know when something started or ended. Because you are eternal. So how could something begin and end? Precisely, that is. It can't. It's just a transition points. So understanding that approach. How do I say this now? Now, in the Bible or in Scripture, there are some specific numbers. Now, again, we're going to get into numerology, the planets, and again, focusing specifically on numerology, on are the planets aligned, this and that, or tarot cards, or drinking your tea and watching the tea leaves float. Specifically focusing on one of those things is not going to work. You have to have the whole picture. Everything is a messenger. Now, the seven, again, we have different ways to interpret all of this. As it said, seek within because the world is without. You don't believe everything that's going on in Caesar's world. Why? Well, you just look around. Look at all the nonsense. The news, the news, the earthquakes. Bangkok has had more publicity than the places that might have been more heavily damaged. Why? Why is Bangkok? Yeah. Anyway, that's another topic we can get into later. About how movies or news is made. Yeah, news. Entertainment value. Entertainment value. I see through all that nonsense. So we get into this now. For me, this is how it works. For everyone, it's going to be a little bit different, but you can interpret it somewhat in the same manner. 1,260 days. That's in Revelations. It's 3.5 years. Revelations 11:3 and 12:6. Book of Revelations, 1,260 days. Now, is that divided by 28 or 30 days? Are you using this Caesar's calendar of 28 to 31 days and leap years and all that? Again, everything's going to be all different. So the point of which you have become aware of, that's a staging point. It's a basis to judge from and to. Again, was I born in 1964? I mean, who knows? What does 1964 mean anyway? So again, dating something that you weren't technically aware of, and that everyone else told you is third-party hearsay, rumor, conjecture. That's a fact in court. It's rumor. It's not valid. It's not valid. Rumor, hearsay. So then we have the 7-year tribulation. This is Daniel 9:27, I think it is, if I read it correctly. So there's and also in the Hebrew and Jewish Hebrew thinking, Hebrew law is a 7-year cycle of so-called cleansing your debts. Now again, there's the physical and there's the spiritual concepts. Physical world, man is thinking about all physical things. He's lost his connection to the spiritual sense. So we have cycles, and everyone understands cycles. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. The energy is higher, the energy is lower. It's hotter in the summer, colder in the winter. It's a cycle. Some cycles are bigger, some cycles are smaller. We're now in the so-called age of Aquarius, more energy, supposedly. Well, like I said, this April, or we're getting into, what do you call it, Easter and Passover and all that. That's Caesar's influence on those things, which definitely you have to, the Roman Catholics, the Pope, definitely don't, you got to interpret their thing. They're doing something else. Again, what does this period mean? Again, we're using uh, scripture or the Bible or the Old Testament, New Testament, um, about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm Jesus and you're Jesus too, because that means I am conscious. So on March the 19th, 2023 is when I was, as I said, anointed or fully uh, tapped. My kundalini exploded in my brain, and it's a date or a measurement point for me to understand where I am. Now, is that the halfway point, the 3.5 years? Is that the start of the 7 years? Or is it the end? Well, from my interpretation, if I go back 1,260 days, will bring me back to September 19th, 2019. The year of Corona 19. Oh, the king. What a coincidence. So, Corona 19 was the original name of the virus. Crown 19. Well, what a coincidence. Crowning means to be anointed. So September, somewhere in September, depending on which calendar I'm going to use, this process started, the 7-year cycle. And this is all, in scripture. This is in stone, written in stone. Now, since this is the halfway point, which I have, I've had revelations and dreams and all that, which somewhat prove this. It's in my book. You then go ahead 1,260 days from that point, and you have September 19th, 2026, which will be the completion of 1,260 days, depending on, again, is it 20 or 30-day cycle system? 360 days and so on. Roughly speaking. So September 19th, 2026, my 7-year cycle will be over. That means I've had a lot of tribulations, trials, bad times, and then good times. And this period will end. Now, how else can we figure out the so-called time and system? So we have, let's say, 9 and 3. This is the equilibrium. It's the level, and then below is, let's say, the dark, and above is light. Then we might have the 12 months. We got, again, depends on how you want to use this way of thinking. As a basis of finding out where you are and how to think about it. So we're looking for, what is your balance? Your body has to become balanced with your spirituality and your psychology and physiology and nature. So light and dark. When does it start? How do you feel? And these cycles will become more noticeable. You'll notice that something is something that needs to change, or you're not fitting with the way the telling you it is. You know, Caesar's world is telling you it's this, but you don't feel or think it's that because you've had dreams. You've sensed something is different. So you're going to start to figure it out. You know, what is time for you? And again, this is the tribulation. This is the cycles you're going to go through to find balance. You know, as one. Anyhow, I'll kind of finish this off by saying that this is the ticket. When you know that this is fact, and that's between you and your in your dreams, yeah. Not third party, not Bob next door and your neighbor or whatever. He comes over, because that's man. That's in the flesh. It has to be in peace and quiet in your dreams. Though Bob, your neighbor next door, is an indicator, he is not the ultimate one to tell you. You have to do it yourself. Don't believe whatever I say. You believe. You have to find out yourself. So I know it from dreams. That means I'm in bed, and I fall asleep, and I have dreams, and I do things and meet things, and I get information, and I discern the information and find out. I feel different. I hear things, you know, like a buzz in my ear or whatever, and so I'm sensing things. That something needs to be noticed. So this world is full of nonsense. Shut the TV off. Shut the news off. It's entertainment. I laugh every time I watch it, and everyone getting so emotional over it. They're getting emotional over entertainment. They're believing. People believe the entertainment on TV. Please, but it's your choice. You'll learn. You know, reap what you sow. You know, karma, whatever. It'll all come back to you, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to end it there. I hope this audio worked. So I'm Rodney Josephson. If you have any questions, you can get you can send me messages or email, ask for my books, or whatever, or don't. Life goes on, you know. Anyway, that's all I had to say tonight, and we'll continue this drama next week. So, live from Saigon, it's Friday night. Peace, brothers and sisters. Ciao.